temperatures are soaring into the 90s, forcing some Denver schools without AC to send kids home early.
You can't learn or the teachers can't teach when it's 99 degrees.
And we're anticipating some record-breaking highs today when you can look forward to a cool down with more seasonal temperatures.
And President Joe Biden and former President Donald Trump trading jabs as the midterm election approaches.
It's clear which way the new MAGA Republicans are. They're extreme.
He's an enemy of the state. You want to know the truth?
Less than a week until prime time. Hear from the man who will be on the mic as Russell Wilson and the Broncos head for the national spotlight.
I just see this being a fun season. There will be no let up.
We start at 11, though, with the heat building across the Front Range. You're looking live from Lookout Mountain. It looks hot out there, and it sure feels hot already. This is a live look at some of the current temperatures across Colorado. It's already 90 out at DIA. Yeah, 11 a.m., 90 degrees, and it's only going to get hotter. Katie LaSalle joins us now. Katie, we could be nearing some record high temps, not just today, but multiple days this week?
Yeah, we're looking at Tuesday, Wednesday, and Thursday, all hitting the upper 90s. Shattering some previous high records here for the Denver area. As you mentioned, it's already 90 degrees out at DIA, high 80s from Fort Collin to Akron, 94 currently in Burlington. Typically this time of the year, we average in the low 80s out at DIA. Relative humidity dropping at 17%. It's going to stay dry for today, and the record for this day, 97. That was set back in 2020. Wednesday's record, 95, and we're looking to surpass that as well. Up in the mountains, a pretty pleasant start to our morning. A lot of sunshine, 60s and 70s, but it is going to be above average all across the state for today. Daytime highs expected to hit 98 out at DIA and triple digits over the northeastern plains. We'll talk more about the cold front that's set to approach on Friday. Still to come, Jason.
All right, Katie, thank you. And that heat, that potential record-breaking heat, it's forcing some schools in Denver to make some changes. As Denver 7's Veronica Acosta reports, some kids are being released early.
That's because it's going to be just too hot. Several of these DPS schools, they don't have air conditioning, and that really is the problem. The students that you see here behind me, they just can't sit in a classroom all day without it. Take a look at your screen. These 4 DPS schools are going to be doing some sort of early release this week. We know the school where we are this morning, McAuliffe International, they're going to be letting students out early today, tomorrow, and Thursday. Denison Montessori and Godsman Elementary students, they're getting early release just today. And then Skinner Middle School students get to leave the class earlier than usual tomorrow. We spoke with this parent who told us that the only thing this is disturbing is a little bit of scheduling for her, but besides that, she's pretty happy that the district made this choice.
I understand. I mean, the kids have to be able to learn, and you can't learn or the teachers can't teach when it's 99 degrees and there's 30 plus students in a class. It is what it is, and we just have to, just like a snow day.
Just to give you an example of how hot some of these classes get, DPS officials did tell us that those third floor east-facing classrooms, they can get up to 90 degrees, so pretty hot. And this goes without saying, but district officials obviously encouraging parents out there to send their students to school with a nicely full water bottle just in case they need it. If you're wondering about busing, district officials told us really early this morning that those buses will be running on that early release schedule, so you don't have to worry about your student waiting around until they get their normally scheduled bus later in the afternoon. In Denver, I'm Veronica Acosta, Denver 7.
Now, 48 DPS schools don't have air conditioning, which is down slightly from 55 2 years ago. That was the same year voters approved a nearly $800 million bond for projects, including installing AC in 24 schools. Chalkbeat Colorado reports 7 of those schools now have AC. Work is almost done on 8 more campuses. The district says there have been delays because of supply chain issues. AC will be installed at 9 other schools by next summer. Record-breaking heat is also hitting California, and it's straining that state's power grid. The state's power company warns high demand could lead to rolling blackouts. Officials are calling for 2 to 3 times more power conservation than is usual during power grid alerts. Now, people in California have also been asked to avoid charging their electric vehicles to avoid putting too much pressure on the power grid. Well, the EU will address its worsening energy crisis later on this week. European countries are trying to conserve energy because costs there are soaring. It's because of the ongoing war in Ukraine, causing Russia to shut down a pipeline carrying natural gas to Europe. Ron Thomas is taking over as acting chief of Denver's police department today. Mayor Michael Hancock nominated him to lead the department on an interim basis. Current chief Paul Pazin announced his retirement last week. Thomas has been with DPD for more than 30 years now. Netherlands Board of Trustees will get an update tonight on recruitment for its police department. The town's last full-time officer, its chief, will leave at the end of the month. The department is supposed to have 6 officers on staff. The Boulder County Sheriff's Office will provide extra duty coverage this month. A Lincoln County deputy is going back to work tomorrow, just days after stopping a wrong-way driver with his patrol car. These photos show the crash. It happened along I-70 Sunday night. Deputy Mike Hutton and the driver in the other car only suffered minor injuries.
There's no official training on this one, to be honest with you. This was more of just a head-on collision to put myself in that danger and stop it, to protect people that are innocent, from serious injury or death is an absolute priority of mine.
Authorities are investigating if the wrong-way driver was experiencing a medical condition. Deputy Hutton has had some close calls before. Last year, he was shot 3 times while responding to a theft in progress. Our sister station, KOAA in Colorado Springs, is raising money to help protect law enforcement. Anchor Ira Cronin will bike across Colorado, going from the Utah border to the Nebraska border in 5 days. Now, this ride raises money to buy rifle-rated vests for 10 Colorado law enforcement agencies, including CSPD, Woodland Park PD, and the El Paso County Sheriff's Office. Now, an El Paso County deputy recently died in a shooting. Andrew Peary was responding to a domestic incident last month.
We were there before they finished working, trying to save his life. And I can just tell you that it takes away a piece of your soul.
And that loss is palpable, and it's real, and it's tragic, and it's heartbreaking, and there's no easy way through it.
Now, we will follow Ira's progress throughout the week. You can donate right now at shield616.org. Well, you had to act fast if you wanted to get one of those $1,700 e-bike rebates from the city of Denver. This is a screenshot of the city's website. All rebates were gone 15 minutes after they became available. About just as popular as concert tickets or a ski pass. Now, 600 were up for grabs. Half of them were for income qualified residents. Another round of those rebates will become available on Monday, October 3rd. It was a record-breaking Labor Day weekend at airports across the U.S. The TSA screened nearly 8.8 million passengers. Now, that's above Labor Day back in 2019, when 8.6 million passengers were screened. Friday was the busiest travel day when nearly 2.5 million people were screened. I know I was one of them. This is the first time since the pandemic that passenger screenings exceeded 2019 numbers. Friday is the deadline for the Department of Justice and former President Donald Trump's attorneys to propose a list of special master candidates. A judge granted Trump's request for a special third party to review those documents seized by the FBI from his home in Florida. A judge also said the Department of Justice should be temporarily stopped from using those documents in their investigation. The DOJ can still look into if storing documents at Mar-a-Lago damaged national security. The DOJ has not said if they will repeal that judge's ruling. President Trump and Republicans loyal to him were the focus of President Biden's latest speeches. He's calling them a threat to democracy. And President Trump is firing back, calling Biden an enemy of the state. MWin reports on the aggressive rhetoric as the November election approaches.
A war of words between a sitting president and his predecessor. President Joe Biden taking aim at what he calls MAGA Republicans during his Labor Day visit to 2 swing states, Pennsylvania and Wisconsin, Monday. In Milwaukee, Biden again warning that democracy is at stake not only in 2022 but 2024 as well.
All right, let's turn to the Broncos now. They will be back at practice today after taking a few days off for the holiday weekend. They open the season in less than a week on Monday Night Football in Seattle. The season opener and the month of September has been good to quarterback Russell Wilson. Check out these stats. He's 7-3 in his last 10 September games, throwing 29 touchdowns and just 1 interception. The last time Wilson lost a season opener was back in 2018 against the Broncos here in Denver. Denver 7 Sports Director Lionel Bienvenues talked with Joe Buck, who's calling that Monday night game, about what he expects from the Broncos this season.
I just see this being a fun season. There will be no let up. Russell Wilson won't allow there to be a let up. And he's as consistent a pro athlete as I've ever covered. I think they're going to be a fun team to watch for many years to come.
Is your home for the Broncos season opener. No cable required. You can watch the Broncos next Monday night right here on Denver 7. Our coverage starts at 5 and kickoff is at 6:15. Well, it's a sign of fall. A popular place to visit in Colorado is closing for the season. And a school district in the metro is rolling out new technology so parents can keep an eye on their kids.
I'm really just thankful that the district values the safety of our students.